So what are the considerations going behind in terms of setting up treasury centers here, and how do you take advantage of some of these recent measures?
Sorry. For the DFS, I think maybe a little bit background about the DFS. We run the duty free around the world. So we had the operation in Asia, in US, in Middle East, but we centralize the treasury functions in Hong Kong, supported by a global service center in Singapore. The reason that we centralize the corporate treasury function in Hong Kong because our core management is in Hong Kong. That's the reason that we had the treasury function in Hong Kong. And also when we set up the centralized treasury function, for example, like cash pooling, they put into Hong Kong, or for example, like the financing. I think when you make that type of decision, you need to be very close to the management. That's the reason that when the core management in Hong Kong, we had the treasury centers in treasury function in Hong Kong. We also take into the consideration of the for example, like the tax benefit to see whether, since we had the service center in Singapore, so that's also one of the considerations for us, whether we want to centralize the treasury function in Singapore instead of in Hong Kong. We had some debate several years ago when we set up the cross-border multi-currency pooling, whether we need to pool the money in Hong Kong, in Singapore. So the tax benefit is one of the considerations, but there's other consideration we need to take into the consideration. For example, like the funding, the personnel, how to run the treasury function. I think when we several years ago when we decided that we centralize all the treasury function in Hong Kong, we take all that into the consideration. Yeah.
You made the valid point, am I right? There are various considerations which goes behind setting up a CTC, and as you look at Hong Kong, the proximity to the mainland China, being the leading international financial center, which is critical, largest offshore RMB center, there are various considerations which goes behind setting up RTCs. Francis, if you could ask, you also have a treasury center here in Hong Kong as well. What are the considerations behind choosing this center, and how does that change with some of the recent guidelines which are getting implemented from a strategy perspective?
For CLP, it's a bit more about history, because we have been in Hong Kong since 1905. So our head office, our management team, including Treasury, have been located in Hong Kong for the past century. But we do look at different forms, different rationale of keeping it or not. Although I cannot say right now that whether this centralized treasury management structure will be moving towards another one, such as a regional treasury center, as more or less like what you heard from the government in the budget last year. But we do look at the genuine business requirement and come up with the most rational way of fulfilling the functions.
Alan, given your experience, how are Chinese corporates responding to the new tax incentives introduced by the Hong Kong government, and is Hong Kong becoming the natural choice as they look at setting up treasury centers?
Yeah. For Hong Kong, we have a long history in Hong Kong. And also, I mean, for us, Hong Kong is a platform for, for overseas investment. So which means like Hong Kong is a holding company. So whenever we have any new investment, we have new acquisitions, so that will be under Hong Kong. And from a funding perspective, it makes sense. For us to tap the cheap funding in Hong Kong outside China. So other than that, we can also, like for some other, what I understand from for some other Chinese company, they also consider like centralized funding in Hong Kong because of the capability of Hong Kong to tap the cheap funding. which means if say, for example, a CTC or a holding company has a credit rating in Hong Kong, they can raise the money and then we lend to the companies in other regions. So that's one of the way that we can utilize the proposal from the government to minimize the interest expenses cost. And also from a currency management perspective, for example, if the cash flow of the acquired company is US dollar, of course, we should raise US dollar. Or if the cash flow is euro, then we can also raise the euro in Hong Kong, which is very convenient. And also we have a very good banking infrastructure in Hong Kong, so they can provide very good proposal solution to us to manage the exposure in relation to the financing. And also we can, the holding company or the CTC can also act as a service platform, saying that we can provide the financial planning, the cash management and other services. So in summary, the holding company in Hong Kong can serve as an investment platform, the funding platform, and also as a service platform.